you ever hear feet go sweet, sweet feet on Piccolo? No? Well, you missed a lot, for we certainly got silent order them all. Did you ever hear feet go sweet, sweet feet on Piccolo? No? Well, you missed the three chorus melody beat all the time that couldn't be beat. Why didn't hit a high note?
Yeah. All right. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. Will Roberts, the honest huckster. Boy, I'll tell you what, doing this live stream stuff makes my teeth sweat. Yeah. It's really kind of difficult sometimes. But welcome to the show. Very excited. This is going to be a great show today because if you're here and if you're not, then who are you then? You should be here. I'm going to be hanging out with a lot of good friends of mine, a couple of magicians I know. And one of them, I'm very excited to say, is our usual Chris Heron, which is Faust. He'll be hanging out with us a little later in the show. But before then, we have a special guest on today. I'm very excited because this guy is the man, the myth, the legend. Plus, he was cutting edge before the edge was cut. And when it comes to magic and it comes to all this fun stuff, when you see, by the way, I'll tell you, drum roll, please. Wait, I do have one here. Hold on a second here. This is the latest technology. If you've ever seen shows like this before, probably not. That's not a drum roll, but that'll do. Mike Powers, the magician, will be on in just a little bit. By the way, Mike Powers, newly the Magic Circle in the UK. He is amazing. I watch Mike and I just sit there and go, I don't even want to learn the tricks. I just want to keep watching him. So now that he knows that he's in the wings and can't hear me, that I'm a stalker, oh yeah, we're having a good time here. I hope you're all having a good time. Remember, this show is brought to you by Zucchini's Tricks and Things on the Edgewater Packing Company, Cannery Row. And if you know anything about Cannery Row, that means you probably paid attention in school and you read the books. By the way, we are on Instagram on my phone down here. If you're watching this and you're going, man, that's an ugly shot, Will, with all the green in the back of you, that's because you're in the wrong space. Click the profile link and that'll go to my Facebook. And by the way, this is the coolest thing. I love this technology. Again, I say this, I'll say it again. I'm performing and this is my my bedroom. So technically, if you all have a good time and you think I'm entertaining, please put it in the comments because I'll show it to my wife and let her know that I'm entertaining in the bedroom. Hold on. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Try the deal. So anyway, the other thing is that we're broadcasting on my YouTube channel, on my Periscope, which is my Twitter account, 80,000 people. They're all watching right now, I'm sure, going, come on with it. Let Mike come on, or Chris, or someone, or Faust. Anyway, hey, yeah, bring on Faust. He doesn't talk. You talk too much, Will. Anyway, if you're interested in magic, by all means, Basics of Magic is the website that we have. Look at this new card, this new pack. This is not the pack totally, but it's like a 1939. That didn't impress you, did it? It's a 1939 style deck, and I love it. I was at the Magic Apple yesterday, Brent Garris at the Magic Apple, and picked up some really cool new stuff. And, you know, nowadays, magicians are all looking for stuff to Zoom. Because, you know, here, pick a card. I mean, does that work? Not really. Anyway, so the cool thing is that we're on Periscope, we're on YouTube, we're on 2 of the channels of Facebook, all at the same time, along with Twitch, all kinds of stuff. We're everywhere. And if you're not here, you're nowhere. So with that being said, I'm going to take a small break and show you a really cool magic video that I think you're going to like. If you are a magician, you'll know these 2 names, Doug Henning and, not Chris Heron, Doug Henning. and Di Vernon, and these two are legends in magic. And so hang tight. We're going to take a small break, and when we come back, we're going to bring our guest on, Mike Powers. So excited! Here we go.
When you were working out your routine, can you show me going from here into the when they're 8 are linked?
8?
Yeah, when they're linked at 8 places.
Do you mind if I keep my cigar in my mouth?
No.
Well, you want to link them. In other words, you want to bring one ring the full length of the chain. You see, you do that by a simple series of moves like that. Now you can also put it on very slowly, like that.
That's beautiful. Do you find going slowly down the chain?
Well, it depends. That's another. You try it both ways. Try it and hit the ideal speed. See, and that's the idea.
How about when they go when they link in 8 places and then when they come apart?
You see, it's a pretty movement to spin them, but don't overdo it just because you like to do it. You do this, and it looks like a ship propeller, and so on and so forth. And I'm not used to your rings. I use little larger rings, but you show that they're linked in 8 different places, and then you bring them up, and you can link them in 2 places.
Ah, that's the part
you say it's all done by the Chinese twist, or whatever you like to say.
Yeah, good. Let's try it here.
Trial and error is the best way. I mean, I'll do the best. I mean, work it out, and then.
Why did you?
Don't make any superfluous moves. Try to avoid superfluous moves. Take them out. Whenever you do anything, the more you can take out, and you end up with something beautiful. The great Leonardo da Vinci said that details make for perfection, but perfection is no detail.
There it is. Wow. So that is 2 masters of magic, and very exciting by all means. Again, hanging out on Will Roberts. I am the honest huckster. Who knows what I'm going to be doing? Guns, ropes, whips, magic. Not really sure. Maybe some balloon art. Whatever the case may be, I will be doing it, and in my own space here. Very excited to be here. I just had these curtains steamed. Very excited about that. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on my guest. This man is a legend in magic and really quite an awesome guy, and I've become pretty good friends with him. I mean, that's what I think. So I don't know if he comes on, he might have a different opinion. But let's look at something that Mike has done. I'm over here looking at, let's see, oh gosh, you know what? I realized I didn't bring anything on. I forgot to put your demo in place, Mike. So guess what? Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if I have something kind of fun. Let's see, got a ta-da. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, you're going to love this one. Mike Powers. Mike, how are you, brother?
Hey, Will. Good to see you, my friend.
It's good to see you too, and finally just not me.
Well, one quick thing here. I assume tomorrow at noon is the time. I mean, you've thrown the gauntlet down with that gun bit right before I came on. I assume that means we'll have our seconds, talk is over, choose the weapons, noon tomorrow.
Our duel.
Our duel. Exactly. All right. You can pick the time. I'll pick the weapons.
I would never want to duel with you, my friend, because I can only handle things like this, like you, maybe. But when it comes to coins and cards and magic and stuff like that, no way. Oh. But welcome to the show, my friend. And how's it going? How's life?
Oh, well, we're all living in the weird COVID world these days. I know California has some new restrictions, and Indiana, you never know what you're supposed to do other than wear a mask, which I do religiously. In fact, I was going to wear one today because, I mean, you're in California. I figured, geez, man, I don't really want to hang. I mean, I'm right next to you. We're not even 6 feet apart here. Look at this. I mean,
I know.
A foot and a half. That's it.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about renaming my show the Will Roberts Honest Huckster Social Distance Show, but look, there's only a line separating us over there.
Yeah, well, no, that may be better than I was thinking there. Because if I go like this, where does that? There. Okay, so my hand.
You just slapped me. You just slapped me.
And that would be a cool bit, though, wouldn't it? When my hand goes off, to have a hand come in over there. Yeah.
I need an arm that rolls in and slaps me and keeps me in line. Or maybe what I need is a hook. But I
Yeah.
will tell you that with you, what you said about COVID is that we are literally moments away, and I know our other guest, Chris Heron, knows this, but we're in the process of possibly shutting down for 15 days. And that's only essential stuff because you know what? I mean, I don't want to be Debbie Downer here, which by the way, I'd never want to be Debbie. She's probably pissed off that everybody keeps telling her she's negative. But anyway, bottom line is that we may be closing down, so I might be doing a lot more of this because what else are we going to do?
Yeah, I know. It's it's really becoming pretty cool. I mean, I feel like we're really sitting across from each other talking, and the Zoom session. I did a Zoom lecture for the Magic Circle a couple weeks ago, and you start to look out there, and they can bring on a guy right next to you, like you and I are here, and you're talking, and it's the next best thing, I guess.
Well, when you think about it nowadays, as I say to people, by the way, I'm on my Instagram. If you're not clicking the profile, you're watching me on a green screen. Anyway, but I always tell people, like, I came up with this phrase called hooked on iPhonics. Like we now spend most of our time staring at our phones, even when we're talking to people, deer in the headlights. You'll talk to someone, they're like, yeah, see. But so we're used to that type of situation. By the way, this is the other interesting thing is that a lot of times people have their volume down, and right now on Facebook, if you watch this in the lower thirds, the bottom, it's going to have it teleprompted, or I'm sorry, closed captioned. So they've thought of everything because they know that people are so into their phones, and it's not a bad thing. And especially right now, imagine if we were in this situation and we weren't able to do this. It would be insane.
Yeah.
Totally insane.
No, you're right. Then we'd be really isolated, because the sense of isolation is really mitigated by this,
Absolutely.
And you're 2,000 miles away from me. So I think didn't realize how cool these Zoom things were until we were kind of forced into using them. And then my realization is this is pretty good. Get together with my brother and sisters, and 4 of us hang out, and they're all over the country, So
yeah, and we don't have to worry about wiping our hands with sanitizer when we're done.
Unless I reach out. Unless I reach out over there again.
Yeah, here you go. That's my Vegas dealer thing. I love that. So let's talk really quickly about magic. Now, you've been doing magic for how long?
Oh man, longer than I care to remember. At least 45 years or so. You'd think I'd have more to show for it after all that time, but I got my big library behind me, so
yes,
I've pretty well read.
I mean, it's not a green screen. That's the real deal.
No. In fact, when we get the different view later, you'll see a little bit more of it. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 6 shelves on my right side that are at least 8 feet long, and then about 5 shelves on my other side that are about 6 feet long, and they're just totally loaded. So
it's
I don't know.
Better than you being loaded. All I'm saying. Listen, so you've been doing magic for 45 years, which, by the way, I think is 108 in dog life. And so with that being said, because the show is called Basics of Magic, we're encouraging people who are very interested in magic, whether it's a mother, brother, sister, grandpa, grandma, all those people are interested. That's why we have the Basics of Magic. We're coming out with a kit that's going to be a magic bag. And with that being said, the first one, we're going to have a couple of downloads, and you're going to be able to provide us with a couple of those. We're very excited.
I'll be working on those over the weekend, so we'll get those in the can.
Right, and then in addition, Chris Heron, Faust, we're going to show up at the end of the month each time, and we're going to take all the people who are members or bought the bag and be able to show them like this, like via Zoom or this, how to actually do the tricks that got in the bag, plus some additional things like what Mike is going to be filming here, and we're going to convince Mike, paying him millions of dollars to come on that live performance and show people how to do it. Because that, in my opinion, and I'm leading to something here, is that magic is such a great thing. It has a lot of camaraderie. It has, dexterity, different things that you might be doing. It teaches people that are sometimes very introvert to be more outrovert, if even that's a word. But so with that being said, Mike, were you an in or an outrovert when you were younger before you started magic?
Good question. I would say I was more of an introvert, and in some ways, I guess I still feel like, shy is not the right word, but I wasn't an extrovert, and like let me on that stage.
Right.
when I was a kid. And I'm kind of still not like, let me on that stage. But boy, when I'm on there, I sure like enjoying it. So
Right.
my main thing is thinking about magic and tweaking things, coming up with ideas. And I write that column for the Linking Ring magazine once a month.
Yes.
So I've got, always something news popping up to mess around with. And that I find a great deal of fun to do. But in my youth, I loved magic. I grew up in California, in your neck of the woods, in Pasadena. And we watched Mark Wilson and Danny Darnell, Magic Land of Alakazam on Saturdays. That was like, boom, I'm there, And so the interest started with that. And over time, I would just buy a little magic trick. And my dad got me a Bengali deck at a trade show one time. And I can still remember the demo guy. I'm just like, whoa, Dad, get over here. I got to have this thing. And he had nickels to dimes, which totally, I just looked at that and I could not believe it. The experience of that close up stuff, because it wasn't television. That guy was right in front of me, like 1 foot away. Watch these nickels. And then he hands me this thing. I'm going, where in the heck are those nickels, man? And there's these dimes. I mean, I figured the thing will pay for itself in like an hour. So
forget the paper route. Forget the paper route. I'm going nickels and dimes.
Just do this 20 hours a day, just nickels, dimes. It's a long haul to $100, but man.
That's pretty funny.
But anyway, that was my starting point. And then there was kind of a hiatus in college. In the 60s, you had an audience of people that were easy to blow their minds, if you know what I'm talking about. So
That's back again.
That's right.
Welcome
so
to
this
California.
Bengali deck, because in those days, when you took a deck of cards and went like this, and they were all the same card, after they saw them normal, it was just, So then I had that like, wow, this is cool. I like doing this. And finally, when you showed Doug Henning, that was the catalyst for me getting into magic more recently in the early 80s and late 70s, maybe 1980, 81. I just thought, I got to do this. When I saw him on Johnny Carson, and I did get a chance to meet him one time. He was at the Holiday Star Theater in Merrillville, which is about an hour away from here. And his stage manager called me up because I had advertised in one of the magazines a trick that I was selling. So he knew that my address was LaPorte, Indiana. He said, "Oh, you're a local guy. Why don't you come down? Doug would like to meet you." So I wasn't the only one, but there was like 3 or 4 people, and I got to give Doug the trick I was selling and do it for him. And his wife was there, and he was there, and what a nice guy. What a nice guy.
Yeah, he was a nice guy, and tragically, his career in life ended way too soon. But by all means, great people to mention, because magic is such a wonderful old art. But I started in 81 or 2, and seeing all these people and some of the old timers, I guess you can call us, or whatever. It's just fun to see because magic goes like this. And it goes popular, and then someone does it on TV, and then everybody wants to do it, and then Fox comes up with a show with a guy that doesn't have a job that shows people how to do magic, but that's another story. But that's a lot of fun stuff. Hey, we're going to take a small break, only to intro you into doing a trick. Now, you have a trick that you brought out that called Plastic Ladies, and the thing is that you now have a new add-on to that where you're actually selling the actual trick and not just the video, correct?
Right. Oh yeah. You get some special cards, as it were, that help you to be able to do this very visual illusion. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, we're going to go into our trick section, everybody. Mike Powers, of course, you can see his information on the bottom, MikePowersMagic.com. Please go there and check it out. Also, by the way, if you go to basicsofmagic.com, you're going to check out the fact that we have some of his stuff in the shopping area. I highly recommend it. And he's always so great in his videos to give you such great views. And we'll tell that in a second and what that means. But here we go. Time to learn a magic trick.
And now...
Hey, Rocky! Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
But that trick never worked.
This time for sure. Presto! Well, I'm getting close.
And now it's time for the Zoomfield Follies magic trick.
Hi folks, Doug Kahn here, and this is magic in a minute. Let's go. This is one of my all-time favorite card moments. It just uses 3 cards, and quite often I'll preface the trick with like a Monty routine or a sandwich effect. I'd like to get just to the good stuff here with this 10 of hearts. Keep your eye on it. I'm going to make an illusion like it gets a little bit bigger on the ends. Not a special effect, that's real cardboard. It works with physics though. I can squeeze the ends and it gets wider on the sides. Crazy, right? You don't see that every day. I mean, I do, but that's my life. That's not the weirdest thing that you can do with the 10. If you work from the center, like this, you can make it just a little bit smaller than the jacks. Just a little bit. That's the plastic lady, or the plastic 10. And that's your magic minute.
So that's not you doing the trick, but you know, I definitely love watching this trick. It's such a great trick. It reminded me how awesome of a Zoom trick it would make. And I'm now going to order now before 12, and you'll get a Vegematic. It slices, it dices, makes julienne fries. But you know what, Mike? I'm going to turn you right on to your solo part. And if you want to do anything, or you know, I want people to see your setup because you have been doing this virtual thing for a lot longer than the average bear. And with that being said, you have quite the setup. So let's go into that right here. I'm going to make sure I get you right, Mike Solo. There you go. It's all you, brother.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, let's go to the picture-in-picture and switch in the close-up view in the upper right. So I've got a couple of video switchers, and I'm using software called OBS. Sometimes people ask about, you know, what are you doing to get this? And that basically tells the tale. I've got like 3 cameras. A couple of them are switchers that have multiple cameras. So it's pretty sophisticated. And to my right, if you look in this shot, you can see I've got a little, whoops, did I get it? There we go. Come on, man. Hold on. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. That's the shot I wanted. I've got a Stream Deck over here so that just by pushing buttons over here, I can get these switches to super close up, and the cool one over the shoulder view. So that's the view from behind. So when you're showing something, you can really see what's going on. So I do have a nice teaching rig. And I think this view is pretty nice because it lets you see, for a Zoom situation, they can see that I'm not doing stuff off camera. So if they're looking at this close-up view right here, and I gave them this view, this view, then they might imagine I can reach over here and there's some sneaky stuff going on off camera. But if they see this view, then they know that nothing nefarious is happening out there, and that I'm not reaching above or in my pocket and getting sneaky about things. So this is a nice view for teaching stuff. Did you want me to do a trick here, Will?
No, why don't you do a quick trick?
Okay, there's a little bit of weird noise in the background there. I don't know if we need to solve that.
Stand by.
Sounded like somebody was letting the air out of my tires. No, I think it's okay. I think it's solved.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Well, let me do a little trick that'll involve a selection and allow you to be a liar if you want to. I love this concept, and it kind of came about. Make a long story short, my Ed Marlowe was one of my mentors, and as a mentor, Ed would say, "Give me a challenge, like come back next week, and here's your challenge. I want you to come back with a solution." And he had trouble with this one trick because at the end of the trick, it was kind of a long haul, and the person lied about their card. And so the trick just kind of fell apart after all this time. And he said, I don't want that to happen again. So I came up with a solution that involves giving the person the opportunity to lie openly and say, you can lie if you want to. And then at the very end, you need to tell the truth about your card. And he seemed to like it. But I'll run this by you. It uses 21 cards, so the deck can be shuffled, genuinely shuffled. And I'll just take 3, 2, and 2 is 7. 3, 2, and 2 is 7 more. 3, 2, and 2 is 7 more. So there's our 21 cards. In the rear view, check this one out. whoa, now we can see all three views. So if you look in the lower right, you can kind of see the cards are pretty well mixed. Variety of cards that are here. A spectator can shuffle them. And I think we'll get less busy and come back to this view for a second. So Will, I'll just spread. We have a little bit of a delay here, so we always have that problem of, you said stop, but I didn't hear you and I kept going. So why don't you name a number from, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, something like that?
11.
11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's card 11 under anybody's circumstances. Can you see the card? I'm looking away.
Yes.
If you got it. Okay, don't forget the card. So we'll give the deck a couple cuts, a little shuffle, and then we'll get into the Lying Traveler. Now your card is going to be in here somewhere. I'm going to show you each and every card. In fact, I'll give you the over-the-shoulder view here so you can really see clearly. I'm going to make 3 packets of 7. Now, your card will be in one of those packets, and I just want you to remember which one it's in. So don't say when you hear it, when you see it, but just wait till the end, and I'll ask you, was it packet A on my left or B in the middle? So that's card number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7. That's packet A. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is packet B. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is packet C. So Will, what packet was your card in, A, B, or C?
A.
It was in packet A. Well, I can tell you it will not be there for long, my friend. Watch this. I've just removed the card invisibly, and I'm sliding it into packet B. Now, if that happened, packet A would only have 6 cards. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6. Do you see your card there, Will?
No.
No, he says no, and that's because your card has moved to packet B. Used to be 7, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards in packet B. It's not going to stay there for long, my friend. Watch this. You can hear it removed invisibly over to packet C, and that leaves us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 cards in packet B. Do you see your card here?
I do not.
He does not. He says no. That means your card is over here. There should now be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 cards as that card has traveled across. Now I'm going to ask you, your card's not the top card, is it?
No.
Or the bottom card?
Nope.
Okay, it's in here somewhere. We know that because we've seen all these cards. This is where the fun begins, Will. I'm going to ask you about your card, but I love this premise. You can lie or tell the truth.
Oh.
And yet, at the end, no matter what you do, your card will be the last card that we get to. There's actually 4 words that will be spelled. I'll deal a card for each letter of the word and throw the rest of the cards on top. 4 questions. I'll tell you what they are right now. First, I'm going to ask you what kind of card it was. Don't answer yet. Could be an ace, could be a queen, could be a 7, could be a 4.
Okay.
Then I'll ask you about the suit. Oh, we're going to spell the word of. That's word number 2. Then I'll ask you about the suit, but you can lie or tell the truth. And then the last question will be about whether you told the truth, whether you lied or both. So here we go. 4 questions, Will. First question, lie or tell the truth. What kind of card was it?
It was a heart.
No, what ace or
a
king?
2. Sorry.
A 2. T-W-O, drop the rest on top. As I mentioned, the second word, of course, is of, because it has to be the 2 of something. Now you get a chance to lie or tell the truth about the suit.
Spades.
Spades. S-P-A-D-E. Do you want to go spades or spade? I just spelled spade.
Spades.
You want the S?
Plural.
You want the S. The S goes on. That means that the last card would have been different had you not said spades.
Yes.
Now we get to the final question, my favorite question, and that is whether you lied, told the truth, or both. Don't say anything. You can lie about this. In other words, if you told the truth every time, you can say that you lied. I love this. It's a mind blower. So Will, was it lied, truth, or both?
Both.
Both. Watch this. B-O-T-H. Both. And as I mentioned, the last card is the important card. You arrived here by the process of lying or telling the truth. That was my solution for Ed. And now let's look at these cards. Jack of hearts, 8 of hearts, 4 of spades, 3 of hearts, 9 of diamonds, Jack of diamonds, Queen of diamonds. Did you see your card there?
Can I lie? No.
No. This is
No.
where we tell the truth finally. Don't
I did
take me
not
back to the
see it.
drawing board. That means there's one card here for the first time. Is it fair to say your card
Oh.
was the 2 of hearts?
Get out of Dodge. Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Isn't that a fun trick?
Wow. Oh, wait, there you are. Now you're full. Go back to your other shot.
We now to get back to
There you go.
this view. All right.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
It's a fun trick. I actually use that a lot in walk around environments. It doesn't take too long, and I love that interaction where the spectator can lie or tell the truth, and their friends know whether they're lying or telling the truth, and they give all the stuff about, are you a good liar? It just is so open to have fun with people. And then at the end, they're just thinking, but wait a minute, if I would have said diamonds instead of spades, holy smokes, how. Whoa, kind of thing. Because it's really, really clean. You can even have them deal the cards if you want. I mean,
that's awesome.
You can
And
say,
you know what?
You're in charge.
I officially now have 2 new tricks that the honest huckster will be doing. One is the plastic ladies, and the second makes total sense that I would do this one, just because it's such a great lie or not lie type of scenario.
Yeah, it's a cool trick. The first trick in my new book, Tesseract, just came out last June,
right.
and it's still cooking and still selling. So I'm real happy with the response to the book. So it's called The Lying Traveler.
I love it. So let's go to some social media that Mike has. Of course, you can go to his website. If you look up there, just Mike Powers Magic, and you can check that out. And by all means, you have lots of great stuff. You also have Mall of Magic, but we'll get to that some other time. But you do have Mike Powers Magic, where you can get the stuff that you want. Hey, Mike, we're going to bring on another person. Of course, Chris.
Sure.
Chris,
Yeah,
I
great.
love Chris. And here he comes. Chris, here we are, guys. We have, of course, Chris Heron, who is Faust. And of course, Mike Powers, the other magician, and myself, Will Roberts, Honest Huckster. I just thought we would do like a quick little round table here. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Pleasure to meet you, Mike. I enjoyed your presentation. And you know what? I think you got to somewhat school Will on this OBS thing, because that was a superb display, of cards. It's very hard to
what were you saying, Chris? What were you saying? I'm sorry.
No,
Noon tomorrow, dude. Hey, don't point that at me.
Yeah, it's loaded, or I'm loaded.
Just a little inside joke between me and Will.
Yeah, isn't that the
but
truth?
I really like the way you presented it with OBS, and it really, really is a smooth visual platform.
It is, yeah. With multiple cameras, that's the cool thing. And you can take pieces of one camera and act as though, and make that one part of the shot. Like you can zoom in, like this picture, the zoomed in shot of me right here. You can take that out of a larger, wider shot and like zoom into that, and then move that over the top of something else, and create the kind of environment that you saw before.
Wow. I think we're all going to give up our magic, our cards, and our wands and go into just virtual live streaming. That's it. We're just going to be the magicians of live stream. Guys, I want to ask you a quick question, and that is that, well, first of all, Chris, I do know that you've got some shows coming up, but you and I are working together on trying to, we have a RAC, which is you open for me, and then I do my thing and just blather on. Who knows what the hell I'm saying, which includes a lot of different things. We're also doing a virtual school tour, which, by the way, Mike is helping us with the whole magic bag thing, because if a school, like we have one in Pennsylvania coming up in February, and there's like 200 or 300 kids, what we're going to do is they can get the magic bag and they can learn it, and they're going to see a show in the beginning. So we will invite wonderful, famous people like Mike Powers to do his thing. And because the learning atmosphere is so great with having all these different angles, and we've got it dialed in, I think this is the new wave of entertainment, and quite honestly of magic, is that you don't just do stuff in your closet and your bathroom. That we have a presentation about what we do and how we do it. But I do have to admit, I put my voiceover booth in my closet, and every once in a while my wife knocks on the door and she goes, "Hey honey, come out of the closet." Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll be reach out of the
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, that was taking a while. Phew, OBS. Anyway, guys, I just want to ask you really quickly if you have any words of advice. We'll start with Chris. Any words of advice for someone that says, "Yeah, I really want to learn magic." What would be either the struggle that you had when you started, or something that you just go, "Well, do this, and you will just have such a fruitful life in magic." What would that be?
Well, I think that's a good question, Will. I mean, I think the very first thing that if someone wanted to learn is quite simply have fun with it at first. You don't have to jump into it with all seriousness, like much of the professionals. But I think, have fun with it first, find out what you like,
Yeah.
and toy around with it and experiment with it. And if you're ever ready to go on and take it seriously and want to perform in front of people, I would highly recommend getting a mentor or teacher.
And just quickly, who's your mentor that you would pick out of the sky?
Well, once I decided that I wanted to do this professionally, I sought out Jeff McBride, and I go to his Magic and Mystery School in Las Vegas, and we Skype every month to work on material, and I've been doing that going on 4 years now.
Wow. Yeah. How about you, Mike?
Well, first of all, that's great advice, Chris. I might have missed that point of having fun with it, because I think that really goes deeper than I was going to start with about, maybe you're going to learn how to play guitar and get a practice ethic. So I'm going to move up one notch past having fun, which I think is exactly the right thing. Have some fun. When we were talking earlier about, blowing my friends away, or how I was blown away when I first saw Nickels and Dimes and so on. And, when you deliver that experience, it feels really good. It's like, wow, I'm making these guys have a cool experience. It's not an ego thing. It's just like you're giving off a good vibe and people are responding to it. That magic is a wonderful thing in that regard. So I think Chris is right. Have some fun with it. And then if you make the jump to the next level, would be getting more serious about it, getting a mentor like Chris has. Now you're deep in there. If you have Jeff McBride, you've gone way deep. Even if you just go to your local magic club and find somebody that can sit down with you and guide you, it's so important at the beginning to get somebody that you recognize as a real practitioner to help you and guide you with getting books or DVDs, getting material to work on, watching what you do. One other thing I caution people about is you need to be able to take constructive criticism. You need to be able to just go, my mentor is telling me something. Remember Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off. I don't know if you want a mentor quite like that, because that's pretty heavy stuff. But when your mentor says, you're flashing, you don't get to say, well, I did it for my mom and she didn't see anything. Yeah. No, that's not good enough. Your mentor is trying to help you overcome a deficiency and then you should be able to tell your mentor, dude, you were flashing, and the mentor should go, thank you, my student, for pointing that out. Right. Because even the mentors can forget an angle or, sure, have some issues where we need to tell each other these things. So get into that frame of mind when you're learning to get a teacher, listen to the teacher, take the criticism, and also be prepared to be honest and open with the teacher about what you see with the teacher too. That's awesome. It's a relationship.
Great word of advice. Hold on, I'm going to get something and tell you my advice. Hold on. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. Where are you from, Chris?
San Francisco. Yeah.
That's enough bonding. I'm back. That's enough bonding.
Yeah. Oh, well. We were just having fun here, Will.
You were. So, I thought about what you guys were saying, and, it really kind of brought up a subject that I think is a good one to bring up is that I started in the early 80s, 80, 81. And one of the things I will tell you that I think is a little bit gone, and it's unfortunate, is this, a book. Mike, by the way, get Tesseract if you can. It's an awesome book. But I will tell you this one. What's that?
That amateur magician?
Yeah. I slept with this thing when I was younger.
Yeah. That was my first book too.
Magic books tend to smell really awesome if you like musty old things. But the reason why I'm saying this is because this is just an awesome book. I've learned how to do the Downs palm and classic palm, all the different things that I learned how to do. But I actually found this copy in Las Vegas. It cost me a pretty penny because it was in Las Vegas. But the point is that when you have books and you start in magic, I recommend. I mean, there's so much YouTube and so much stuff like that, and that's awesome because now, unlike when we started, you really back then there was no like really you didn't like readily get a video. You went to a magic shop or you went somewhere and got books like this. Or I remember having the 101. I can't remember Bill Tar. It's not Bill Tar.
Yeah.
The big white ones, the 101, and then they had like there and just sitting there in a room and just looking at this stuff and reading it and understanding it. There's a depth and a level to having a physical book. And I'm not a huge person on reading big huge books, but I will tell you that this really helped me, along with having a trunk that was about 75 years old, that every once in a while I went into it because I was doing escapes. Another story. But the point is that this is something that really helps enhance and put depth to your magic. And again, anybody can do a trick. Anybody can do a trick. But then again, so can a dog. And the fact is the matter is that it's the style and the grace that you put into it, and the understanding and the background. And we're all going to try to do different types of things. Someone might be space age magician, or someone may be like me, the huckster. Someone might be like Chris, who does the pantomime. Someone might be like you, Mike, and your style of club type of magician. But all of it really is based upon the fact that when we get this stuff, we have a code of ethics and morals that we don't tell the secret, that we get and we feel and we embrace, and we look at the mentors like Di Vernon or Marlowe or Henning or Copperfield, and we just try to follow in their steps and make sure that we're not messing up anything. So I highly recommend, if you get into magic, get some books, physical.
Absolutely.
Look
Yeah.
at my back of Mike.
Yeah, I do have a lot of books back here. In that regard, Will, I think, the idea of exposure, when a young person learns magic and you go into junior high or middle school or high school or something, instantly, how did you do that? Everybody's going to ask you, you got to explain that. You can't just do that and walk away. And, you need a line. First of all, you need that you don't explain it.
Yeah.
And it's in their best interest, right? If you explain it, then they'll be doing the trick instead of you. I mean, so there's a lot of good reasons why not to explain it.
Yeah,
one of which is you can do it tomorrow for some other guys and you don't have a guy coming over. Oh yeah, he showed us how to do it. It's just this, so don't explain the tricks. The great line in that regard that we all know is, can you keep a secret?
Yes.
I can too.
Boom.
So this gives you this kind of a cool way. Can you keep a secret? Oh yeah, tell me the secret. Then you go, I can too.
Yeah.
And they just go, okay, this guy's supposed to keep a secret, and they'll accept it.
Absolutely. And what's funny is when I was much younger, and I remember doing I think it did a 20th Century Silk or something from my mom and my dad. And when I got done, my mom's like, how'd you do that? I'm like, I can't tell you, Mom. It's a secret. I'm a magician. And she's like, what I want to know. I'm like, I'm sure you do. And my dad said, son, if you don't tell your mom how you did it, you're grounded. I'm like, awesome. So I was grounded for a week, but boy, did I learn a lot of magic in my room.
The benefits of being grounded. I mean, just don't take away my books. Don't take away my books.
I just sat on my bed on my knees and learned how to spring cards. So anyway, guys, really appreciate you coming on the show. Chris Herron, of course, as Faust, Mike Powers as the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Powers, and myself, of course, I don't know who I am anytime. The Honest Huckster. I've got to get my Stream Deck hooked up because I'm tired of putting these on. But thanks for hanging out with us, guys. I appreciate it. This is, by the way, live, but you can also see this on YouTube and all the other places. It will be downloaded immediately with all these wonderful bells and whistles. I hope you enjoy the show. If you want to learn magic, you go to basicsofmagic.com. If you're interested in Plastic Lady, you go to MikePowersMagic.com. If you're interested in Chris doing anything and performing for you virtually at this point, because I know he is also one of us safe not science deniers. You can go to Chris Heron Magic and check it out. And by all means, if you're interested in mine, you can go to zoomfieldfollies.com or Basics of Magic or 17 other sites like actor Will Roberts and become schizophrenic like me. But ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you coming. Guys, thank you very much, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Indeed. Great to see
All
you.
right. Thanks, everybody.
Nice to meet
Let me go here and just tell you thank you very much for hanging out with us today. If you had fun, by all means, pass this on to everybody. I really appreciate it. I am Will Roberts, the Honest Huckster. I'll see you later.